Welcome back to Emberlight Echoes, where ghost stories don't make you jump, but gently ease you into a peaceful slumber. Tonight, we're leaving the truly frightening specters behind for a very special place, a Louisiana plantation, where the spirits prefer playful pranks to spine-chilling scares. So close your eyes, relax your mind, and let my voice and the peculiar imagery guide you. The air hangs thick and humid, heavy with the scent of Spanish moss and damp earth. Cicadas buzz their relentless chorus, a sound that seems to vibrate through the very bones of the old Louisiana plantation. Tonight, we delve into a place steeped in history, where the veil between worlds feels whisper-thin. Belle Reve Plantation, our fictional name. Forget your typical wailing specters and rattling chains. The spirits of Belle Reve are different. They're known for their playful antics, their mischievous pranks that range from the mildly irritating to the downright absurd. This isn't a place that inspires terror, but rather a sense of bemused curiosity. Why are these spirits so fond of a good chuckle at the expense of the living? Imagine stepping onto the overgrown grounds as dusk begins to settle. The grand, albeit slightly weathered, main house looms, its white columns casting long, skeletal shadows in the fading light. A gentle breeze rustles the leaves of ancient oak trees, their branches draped with that iconic Spanish moss, swaying like ghostly beards. But even in this seemingly serene setting, there are hints of the unusual. Perhaps a porch swing sways gently, though no one is near. Maybe a faint melody, like a forgotten folk tune played on a slightly out-of-tune harmonica, drifts from an empty window. Or perhaps, just perhaps, you catch the fleeting scent of pipe tobacco, though no one on the property currently smokes. These are the subtle calling cards of Belle Reve's resident pranksters. They aren't malicious, but they are certainly present, their energy woven into the very fabric of this old southern estate. Join us as we explore the stories, the legends, and the quirky phenomena that make Belle Reve Plantation a truly unique haunt. Tonight we ask, why are these Louisiana spirits so fond of a good prank? Welcome back to Belle Reve Plantation, where the air is thick with humidity and even thicker with unseen mischief. Last time, we set the scene, the grand old house looming, Spanish moss swaying, and the subtle hints of playful spirits already, making their presence known. Now let's turn our attention to the specific spectral residents who call this unique Louisiana estate home. These aren't your typical malevolent phantoms. Think less horror, more harmless hijinks. The most frequently encountered spirit, and arguably the most beloved, is Old Man Tiber. He was, by all accounts, a grumpy but ultimately good-natured plantation overseer who passed away peacefully in his sleep right here at Belle Reve. But death didn't dampen his love for a good practical joke. Visitors often report finding their hats mysteriously moved from one room to another, or discovering that a carefully placed book has suddenly appeared on the highest shelf. His signature prank? A soft, inexplicable tug on someone's sleeve when they're not looking, often followed by a faint, raspy chuckle that seems to dissipate into the humid air. He's the benign old uncle who just can't resist a bit of fun. Then, there's Lila, a young girl who tragically drowned in the nearby bayou in the late 1800s. Unlike Tiber, her pranks are more childlike and whimsical. She's known for giggling sounds that echo from empty children's rooms, or the gentle rattling of antique toys left untouched for decades. Guests have reported waking up to find their shoes neatly tied together, or a single, small, muddy footprint appearing on a freshly cleaned floor. Her energy is innocent, almost sweet, but undeniably mischievous. She finds joy in these small, playful disturbances. Finally, we have the collective Bayou Boys, a group of Confederate soldiers who purportedly used Belle Reve as a temporary hospital during the Civil War. Their presence is more subtle, often manifesting as faint campfire smells in odd corners of the house or the distinct, almost melodic clinking of unseen poker chips from the old parlor. Their pranks are less personal. They might subtly rearrange furniture in a way that just makes things a little less convenient, or cause a door to creak open slowly when no breeze is present, only to slam shut gently a moment later. They seem to enjoy causing minor confusion, a lingering camaraderie in their afterlife. These spirits, each with their own unique brand of mischief, contribute to the distinctly non-threatening yet undeniably haunted atmosphere of Belle Reve Plantation. They aren't trying to scare you. They just want to remind you that they're still around, perhaps just bored and looking for a bit of entertainment. As our journey continues through Belle Reve Plantation, the subtle hints of mischief from Old Man Tiber, Lila, and the Bayou Boys begin to escalate into more direct, albeit still playful, encounters. These are the moments that have made Belle Reve a unique spot on the paranormal map, not for terror, but for its utterly baffling and sometimes hilarious pranks. One of the most common early experiences for new visitors or overnight guests is the phantom kettle whistle. You might be in the kitchen, perhaps just boiling water for tea, when a phantom whistle erupts from an unseen kettle, often from a stove that's not even lit. It's loud enough to make you jump, only to find nothing there. Sometimes, a real kettle might even start to bubble, even if the heat is off. It's a quick, startling tease that perfectly sets the tone for Belle Reve's unique brand of haunting. Then there are the missing objects. This is a classic prankster spirit move, and it's a favorite of Old Man Tiber. You'll set down your glasses, your keys, or even your phone, only to find them gone moments later. After a frantic search, they inevitably reappear in the most improbable places, perhaps nestled inside a forgotten boot in the closet, or hanging from a chandelier in the dining room. The kicker? They're always placed neatly, never simply tossed aside. It's a game of hide-and-seek orchestrated by the unseen. Lila, with her childlike whimsy, often manifests as the tinkling toy phenomenon. In the old nursery or children's bedroom, untouched antique toys, a porcelain doll, a wooden spinning top, or a small music box will suddenly begin to move or make sounds on their own. The doll might slowly turn its head to watch you. The top might spin with a faint whirring sound, or the music box might play a single hauntingly sweet note. It's never threatening, just a clear indication that a playful young spirit is near. The Bayou Boys, true to their subtly disruptive nature, are fond of the door drags. Imagine you're walking down a long corridor, and a heavy wooden door, perhaps to a seldom-used pantry or a dusty servant's quarters, will slowly drag open just a few inches, revealing only darkness. As you watch, it will slowly, deliberately drag. Shut again, without a gust of wind or any visible push. It's a subtle, drawn-out moment of confusion designed to make you question your sanity. Finally, the most amusingly intrusive prank is the hat swap. Often reported by male visitors, you might leave your hat on a coat rack, only to find a completely different, and usually much older, stranger hat in its place when you return. Sometimes it's a worn-out Civil War-era cap, other times a bizarre, straw sun hat. Your own hat might later be discovered perched on a bust in the parlor, or perhaps even floating gently in the fountain outside. It's a bold, signature move that leaves visitors chuckling, if a little bewildered. These are just a few of the peculiar ways the spirits of Belle Reve introduce themselves. They remind us that not all hauntings are about fear. Some are about a timeless game of cosmic hide-and-seek, played by spirits who simply refuse to be bored. As we continue our tour of Belle Reve, delving deeper into the whimsical world of its playful spirits, it's worth examining the historical context that might have shaped their mischievous tendencies. Unlike the tragic, often dark narratives associated with many haunted locations, Belle Reve's past, while not without its hardships, seems to have fostered a lighter, more mischievous brand of haunting. The plantation itself was established in the early 1800s, primarily cultivating cotton and sugarcane. The original family, the Dubois, were known for their love of grand parties, lively music, and elaborate parlor games. Imagine evenings filled with laughter echoing through the halls, the clinking of champagne glasses, and the rustle of ball gowns. It's plausible that this vibrant social energy, infused into the very foundations of the house, created a residual joy that the spirits continue to manifest through their pranks. They aren't trying to scare, they're trying to play, even the resident. Bayou boys, the Confederate soldiers, seemed to retain a sense of camaraderie and levity. Records suggest that during their temporary stay as a makeshift hospital, morale, while often low, was sometimes boosted by small acts of rebellion against their grim circumstances, quiet card games, whispered jokes, and perhaps even minor harmless pranks on their weary officers. This enduring spirit of playful defiance could be why their current manifestations involve subtle rearrangements and door drags rather than mournful cries. Old Man Tiber, the overseer, despite his gruff exterior, was reportedly a man who enjoyed a good practical joke, especially if it involved a clever setup and a bewildered reaction. Stories from local lore speak of him hiding fishing poles or swapping out farm tools to confound the hands, only to reveal his trick with a hearty laugh. It seems his earthly penchant for mischief simply transcended into his spectral existence. And Lila, the young girl, perhaps her pranks are a manifestation of a childhood cut short, a desire to continue the games she never finished. Her simple, innocent mischief, the tied shoes, the moving toys, might be her way of interacting with the living, reliving the joy of play that was tragically taken from her. Her spirit seeks connection through harmless amusement, a timeless echo of youthful exuberance. It seems the very fabric of Belle Reve is imbued with a history of playful energy, from the Dubois family's lively gatherings to the soldiers' quiet defiance and Tiber's personal brand of humor. The past here isn't just a collection of events, it's a living, breathing atmosphere of subtle amusement and light-hearted haunting. These spirits aren't trapped by tragedy, they're still playing, still living out their unique forms of joy in the afterlife. Section 5. The playful pranks escalated. Welcome back to Belle Reve Plantation, where the charmingly mischievous spirits continue to weave their invisible threads through the very fabric of the old southern estate. We've explored their individual quirks and the historical echoes that might explain their playful nature. Now let's dive into some of the more elaborate and frequently reported pranks that truly set Belle Reve apart from your average haunted house. These are the moments when the spirits step beyond subtle hints and engage in genuinely amusing, sometimes bewildering, theatrics. One of the most talked about phenomena is the disappearing dinner. Imagine setting a beautifully prepared meal on a grand dining table, perhaps for guests, only to turn your back for a moment and find a single cooked chicken leg mysteriously missing, or a carefully arranged fruit bowl suddenly empty of its ripest apple. It's never the whole meal, just enough to make you doubt your sanity or wonder if you're suddenly terribly absent-minded. This particular prank is often attributed to the collective efforts of the Bayou boys, perhaps reminiscing about snatched rations during their wartime days. Then there's Lila's most whimsical and perhaps most perplexing trick, the floating tea party. Guests in the master bedroom or parlor have occasionally reported seeing antique teacups and saucers, sometimes even a small teapot, gently levitate a few inches off a side table, float in a small, slow circle, and then carefully settle back down. It's done with such delicacy that it feels less like a haunting and more like a private, ethereal performance for an unseen audience. The only evidence left behind might be a faint, sweet floral scent lingering in the air. Old Man Tiber, with his dry wit, loves the phantom bell rings. Throughout the house, there are still old servant bells connected to various rooms. Visitors, Might hear the faint, insistent ringing of a bell from an empty bedroom, or the distant ding-dong of the main entrance bell, even when no one is outside. He particularly enjoys ringing the bell for rooms that are currently occupied by a very startled visitor, watching their confused attempts to find the source. It's his way of demanding attention, even from beyond the grave. The most unnerving, yet still largely harmless, prank is the whispering portraits. In the grand hallway where ancestral portraits line the walls, visitors have sometimes reported hearing faint, almost inaudible whispers emanating directly from the painted lips of the figures in the portraits. The whispers are never clear, just a jumble of soft, indistinct murmurs, as if the painted eyes are truly watching and commenting on the living. It's a chilling detail that adds to the unsettling charm. Finally, the pinnacle of belles rêves. Playful hauntings is the hat cascade. This elaborate prank usually occurs in the main foyer. A collection of hats, both antique and those belonging to visitors, will suddenly and simultaneously tumble from their hooks on the coat rack, landing in a perfect comical pile on the floor. It's a quick, theatrical moment of chaos, seemingly orchestrated for maximum surprise and minimum harm, leaving everyone wondering, what just happened? This is believed to be a collaborative effort, a grand finale from the mischievous spirits of Belle Reve. These playful escalations cement Belle Reve Plantation's reputation not as a place of fear, but as a living theater of cosmic comedy, where the spirits are less interested in tormenting the living and more keen on reminding them that life, and indeed the afterlife, is full of delightful surprises. Section 6. The long-term effects of playful haunting as. Our investigation into Belle Reve's mischievous spirits nears its end. We consider the long-term impact of living in a house perpetually filled with playful pranks. Unlike locations known for malevolent entities, Belle Reve's unique brand of haunting has cultivated a very different atmosphere, shaping the lives of its inhabitants in unexpected ways. For generations of owners and staff at Belle Reve, the initial shock of a phantom bell ring or a disappearing object quickly gave way to a grudging acceptance, and then, often, a quiet affection for their spectral residents. The pranks became a part of daily life, almost like having eccentric, invisible family members. You learn to check your hat before leaving, to laugh when your keys reappear in a teacup, and to simply acknowledge the unseen presence when a door creaks open. This normalization of the supernatural has led to a remarkable sense of calm regarding the paranormal, a quiet understanding that these aren't malevolent forces, but rather playful echoes of the past. The Plantation has also developed an unusual reputation, drawing visitors not for jump scares, but for its whimsical charm. People come specifically hoping to witness a floating teacup or experience a gentle tug on their sleeve. This has transformed Belle Reve from a quiet historical site into a unique form of comfort-haunting tourism. It's a safe space to explore, the supernatural, a place where the unknown is more amusing than terrifying. However, life with prankster spirits isn't always perfectly smooth. There have been tales of minor inconveniences escalating, a perfectly ironed shirt mysteriously tied into knots just before a formal event, or a carefully prepared historical document having its pages subtly reordered. These moments, while still not truly harmful, can test the patience of even the most accepting residents. It's a constant reminder that while benign, these spirits certainly have a strong will and a persistent sense of humor. Ultimately, the story of Belle Reve Plantation and its playful spirits serves as a fascinating case study in paranormal activity. It suggests that the afterlife isn't always grim and terrifying. It can also be filled with laughter, light-hearted mischief, and a perpetual game of cosmic hide-and-seek. The enduring mystery isn't if the ghosts are real, but rather why they find so much joy in their amusing antics, continuously bringing a unique brand of ethereal entertainment to their old Louisiana home. Section 7. The science, or lack thereof, of playful haunting. As our exploration of Belle Reve Plantation's mischievous spirits deepens, it's natural to wonder, what exactly is happening here? While the stories are charming and the pranks amusing, can any of this be explained? We delve into the various theories, both scientific and speculative, attempting to make sense of Belle Reve's unique paranormal activity. Many skeptics and scientific investigators would point to logical, earthly explanations. The old age of the plantation house itself can account for many of the sounds. The expansion and contraction of ancient timber, due to temperature and humidity shifts, could easily explain creaking doors and phantom footsteps. The gentle sway of the porch swing might be attributed to subtle air currents or even unbalanced construction. Misplaced items could simply be the result of human forgetfulness or poor organization, later reappearing when subconsciously remembered or accidentally found. The faint smells could be residual odors trapped in old fabrics or wood. From a purely scientific standpoint, every prank could have a mundane explanation. However, the sheer consistency and variety of the playful phenomena at Belle Reve make a purely skeptical view difficult for some. Why do objects reappear in such specific and humorous ways? Why do distinct individual personalities seem to emerge through the pranks? The gruff humor of Tiber, the childlike whimsy of Lila, the collective mischief of the Bayou Boys. If it's all just environmental factors, why the seemingly intentional nature of the jokes? Paranormal theories, of course, offer a different perspective. Many believe Belle Reve is a prime example of a residual haunting, where intense emotions or repetitive actions from the past leave an energetic imprint on a location. The lively parties, Tiber's practical jokes, Lila's innocent play, and the soldiers' camaraderie could all be playing out endlessly like a recording. The spirits aren't conscious or malicious, but rather echoes of past playful energies. Others suggest a form of intelligent haunting, where the spirits are indeed conscious and aware, choosing to interact with the living through non-threatening pranks. Perhaps they feed off the amusement or bewilderment of the living, finding joy in continuing their old habits in the afterlife. Their benign nature makes them approachable, allowing for these unique interactions that bypass fear. Ultimately, Belle Reve Plantation remains a captivating enigma. Whether explained by science, folklore, or something in between, the constant, amusing chaos it offers invites us to consider the lighter side of the paranormal. It's a place where the line between natural occurrence and supernatural mischief is perpetually blurred, leaving visitors with more chuckles than chills. Section 8. The Sleepy Appeal of Belle Reve. As our journey through the prank-filled halls of Belle Reve Plantation concludes, we are left with a deeper understanding of why these particular spirits and their amusing antics resonate so strongly, especially for those seeking boring ghost stories for sleep. Belle Reve isn't just a haunted house, it's a unique comfort zone in the paranormal landscape, offering solace and gentle amusement rather than spine-tingling fear. The very nature of the pranks, the subtly moved objects, the phantom kettle whistles, the gently floating teacups are designed to intrigue rather than terrify. They don't induce nightmares. Instead, they provide a sense of whimsical mystery. There's no lurking malevolence, no screaming specters, just a persistent, gentle reminder of a lively past and the playful personalities that remain tethered to this Louisiana estate. This makes Belle Reve an ideal setting for narratives aimed at relaxation and sleep. The danger is minimal, the curiosity high, and the outcome always a chuckle. Furthermore, the established personalities of Old Man Tiber, Lila, and the Bayou Boys contribute significantly to this sleepy appeal. They are not faceless, terrifying entities. Tiber is a gruff but endearing prankster, Lila a sweet and innocent child, and the Bayou Boys a band of harmless comrades. Their intentions are clear. They want to play, not to harm. This characterization allows listeners to form a benign connection with the spirits, viewing them as eccentric residents rather than frightening apparitions. This humanization, even of the spectral, fosters a sense of safety and familiarity. The consistency of these benign hauntings over generations has created an almost therapeutic environment. Belle Reve offers a unique escape, a fantasy world where the paranormal is charmingly inconvenient rather than truly threatening. For those who enjoy a touch of the supernatural but prefer to avoid anxiety before bed, the tales of Belle Reve's clumsy and amusing ghosts are the perfect fit. It's a reminder that even in the afterlife there can be lightheartedness and enduring joy. Ultimately, Belle Reve Plantation stands as a testament to the diverse nature of paranormal phenomena. It challenges our preconceived notions of what a haunting must be, proving that the spectral realm isn't solely the domain of dread. It's a place where the history whispers with laughter and the spirits continue to perform their delightful, sleepy pranks, inviting you to drift off into dreams filled with gentle whimsy. Conclusion and farewell. Belle Reve's gentle haunts, as our journey through the charmingly mischievous Belle Reve Plantation comes to an end. We hope you've discovered the delightful, sleepy side of the paranormal. This old Louisiana estate, with its playful spirits like Old Man Tiber, Lila, and the Bayou Boys, offers a unique kind of haunting, one filled with gentle pranks and whimsical antics rather than chilling frights. It's a place where the supernatural provides comfort and a quiet chuckle, proving that not all ghosts are here to scare. Some just want to play. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the Sleepy Paranormal podcast and for immersing yourselves in these unique, illustrated stories. We've enjoyed bringing the clumsy ghost of the Winchester Mystery House and the prankster spirits of Belle Reve to life in the style of ancient manuscripts. We hope these tales have provided a soothing backdrop for your dreams and sparked your imagination.